all band away. Man, my eyes are locked on the junglers in this game. I think Closer and Kenvi have both been having just a super rough split. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think they're both towards the bottom of the tier list if you were to rank all 10 junglers. So both of these guys need to step up. Wherever they're at right now, step up. Then step up again. I need to see better, bigger, badder performances out of both of these guys.
We need apple boxes right in front of them so they can actually actively step up.
Yes, exactly. I need these dudes on the level. And Neeko made it through the bans, so Bolulu going to be piloting that one here again for Immortals. So I don't agree with Mark that Immortals should have won that game against Cloud9. I think that was a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, but I do agree that Neeko is a champion that can give you all sorts of wild advantages because this champ is super strong, especially with Rell. Rell goes in or Neeko goes in, the other one follows up immediately. This is some team fight wombo combo here.
This is what we need from IMT. So easy engage options, like you said. And even though 100 Thieves let that open, probably to give Quid the Azir matchup that he likes so he can have the range there. And they can try to play that kind of game. Still, IMT kind of needed this. Also just giving space for Tactical to actually operate in fights. So that's a +1. Love it, especially with Rell being a flex pick now. Saw a little bit of it in the Challengers League. We saw UG pick that up. We saw this picked earlier today from Contract. So I'm a big fan of the new flex. I'd love to see more being done with it.
All right, Rakan locked in. I like the engage mechanism. You're going to need one of those if you're up against Rell and Neeko. The super high priority on Kaisa, too. I was a little bit surprised by for 100 Thieves, but hey, they've got faith in it. Viego locked in. This is one of Closer's staples. You're talking about Immortals wanting to play for some comfort. Well, 100 Thieves is saying, all right, Closer, some of your best moments ever in LCS have been on the Viego. Let's run it.
We're checking boxes, Flowers. We're checking boxes. And oh, the Nocturne pick. So I was interested in this because I'll talk about Kenvi to start, which is last year we were like, okay, the Graves game. That's what everyone kind of blows up and talks about. This is the type of game we want to see from Kenvi. When he was brought up from the Challengers League to the LCS, he was essentially a carry player, a carry jungler, a Lee Sin, Kindred, Graves, anything. Team funnels gold into him. That's when he was on 100 Thieves Academy. And that's the success that he's found down there. Now, he's been a little bit of a meta slave, so he'll pick stuff like Sejuani if his team needs it, but a lot of the times his lanes are moving around him and he's not actively looking for plays. So this one is great. Easy, at 6, go button that he can click and work for this team. The only concern that I have is I actually really like what 100 Thieves are cooking up here so far. Now we got Rakan, which is Busio's best pick and actually has a really high win rate in the LCS at the moment. And Viego, once again, does quite well. If you can blow up a pick that's trying to dive on you and start to get resets going.
Don't do it, Sam. That's a lot of shots, man.
Sam! He's concerned.
I'm concerned for him. Holy moly, man. All right, Malphite and Renekton are banned out. No Croc. I'm happy.
That's a nice thing.
I'm happy, man. Whenever a pick just becomes every single game, I get sick of seeing it. I'm always happy to see Tristana's picture in black and white these days, too. I'm just like, pick something else.
Throw Cassante in there as well. Anytime we see a Cassante Renekton pick, I'm puking inside.
That was pretty crap.
I'm just putting that out there. And I had to say inside because we have people out here. And I don't think they want the image.
Man, I would appreciate if you did not do it for real here at the caster desk.
I'm looking at you when it happens.
I will vote against that one all the time. Jinx is banned out. Ari's banned out. I'm not going to comment on this unless they lock it in because I'm
going to take the risk.
I've been baited too many times. No, it's just going to be... I mean, if we get this, we at least get the breakup bot lane. Xayah versus Rakan.
Yeah.
Okay, breakup bot lane head-to-head. Let's go.
It's a little heartbreaking, but we'll take it. You know, I would take Rakan's... I agree with Rakan's choice here. I'm just putting that out there. Take that what you will. Do you think
Rakan made an upgrade?
He did make a slight upgrade.
Well, let's see. Immortals drafted Rakan's X, and 100 Thieves is probably going to lock in the chicken because they do this a lot. This is Quid's #1 pick by, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a large margin.
Yeah.
A large marge.
A large marge.
Well,
Jack's hover is an interesting one. Usually when you see yourself going blind here, your team wants to go front to back, see this already, I'd go Scion, something like that. But not gonna be, this is gonna be more fun. I actually appreciate this a little bit more.
Yes.
You need to unleash someday here with the Jax pick.
Unleash someday. I still remember some of the Jax plays this guy has made in the past. Crazy quadra kills and 1v3s and all sorts of stuff. I hope we get to see it here again. But what does Solo want to take into him? Solo is not afraid to read from the book of Dokla and pick Ornn and sit under a turret.
People have been reading that book. Someone read that book in the LCS a little bit earlier. Then we see Dokla reading that book. People are winning off this novel.
Well, that's what Solo's going for. It's only got a 44% win rate, so he's hoping to bump those numbers up a little bit. Immortals is currently not even at that, man. They are at a 16.6 win rate. That is not good. That is not good.
You do that in your head?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. It is very clear.
2 out of 10 is 1/6.
That is, yes.
Yeah.
That is actually very
Yeah. See, that's easy. That's easy,
okay,
man.
You know what? That's understandable.
Easy.
Now, do 100 Thieves quick.
100 Thieves is what? 5 and 7?
Yeah.
So that's 5 out of 12, which is 41.5.
All right, good shit. This guy is actually really good when it comes to bats. I'm just putting it out there. But for IMT side, very easy front to back composition. It does not do very well versus Azir. That's the only question that I have. So it's
tough. It's just like, that's more than an entire round robin of slide.
Yeah.
They need to get their footing back a little bit because the boys are plummeting right now. And hopefully this could be their turnaround point. Like Jet said, it's not a given that 100 Thieves wins this one. Immortals, I know a lot of people are betting against them in a lot of their matchups, but 100 Thieves has been a little shaky.
And a lot of it was through mid jungle as well. Okay, they end up getting caught off that one. But a lot of it was through mid jungle as well. Remember, they started the split with Nuke Duck in the lineup. Then, Quid starts on the LCS stage. His first week did attribute it to nerves. He's played a little bit better since then. His best game was versus Ruby. And then they got their coach finally from Korea, so that's nice to see that they actually have everyone in-house. So a lot of them was just saying, we just didn't have our team ready, essentially. So that's the excuse they can make, but now they actually get to start building up on that one. Closer needs to start really working through Quid a little bit more. That has been the real hole on the team, is just not really finding a lane that he can reliably play through. And Someday, who was really the pick for him in the past.
Bolulu's trying to trade with Quid here. Okay, he hit the blooming blows that time. He missed the first one, so it didn't work out too well trading with the soldier. Tactical and Treatz versus DoubleLift and Busio. Just about to face check the brush here. Level 100 Thieves do not want anything to do with it. All right, Raz, let's play a guessing game. Who's getting first blooded this game?
Ooh.
Where's the action going to pop off first?
I think it's going to happen to mid. So I think Bolulu is going to be the one that dies. It's going to be an angle once bot lane bases and Busio goes mid, and he's probably going to catch Bolulu off the wave. So
okay,
it's going to be something like that. It's very specific, but that's the fun in it.
No, exactly. The more specific you are, the more Chad it is if you get it right.
Okay,
so
I'm ready then.
Hopefully, we'll see some magic happen there, and hopefully for me at least, I want to see things happen early, especially when we're looking at teams that are not at the top of the table. Because I've always observed, in the past in LCS, sometimes the top teams are just like, we don't have to play super aggressive early. We're just better players. We can outscale you, whatever. Yeah. I still hate it, but I understand it. If you're at the bottom of the table, I want to see you playing fast and loose. I want to see you getting scrappy. I want to see you messing with people. And for Immortals, that's where they're at, and that's what I want to see them do. Put the pressure on. Make the game crazy. Make it chaotic. Make it harder to predict so you've got a better shot.
Sad thing is, they're probably going to have to give up the blue. So, we're pausing. No. Yeah, we don't want to deal with the blue. Especially after these games, I need to know. I need to check in. Because especially in the last week, usually it gets a little clowny when you're completely out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
When maybe roster choices happen, but mostly that's when people start to play a little bit for fun. So let's hope that IMT pick up a win or two so we get some more exciting games.
It's always more fun when there's something on the line, right? Yeah. Whenever somebody's locked or eliminated already and they're just kind of goofing around, that's not nearly as entertaining. I love it when you know that your spot's on the line and you got to play your heart out for it. But Quid is, unfortunately, not having a great time here mid versus Bolulu and the Neeko. He's going to be forced to take a recall here nice and early, as that will be the first teleport used back to lane so far this game. Nobody else has had to use that just yet, so here we go. The chicken returns to the mid lane. He doesn't really miss out on a whole lot thanks to the TP. And yeah, we're chilling. Kenvi pathing through the enemy jungle, seeing if he can get around these guys in the bot lane. Here. Maybe force out some action in a 3v2. Nice engage coming out from Treatz there with a crash down. Does bring her over the wall. DoubleLift has nowhere to flash. Kenvi's just sitting where he would be and tactical, ready for the flash follow to kill DoubleLift for first blood.
Didn't even seem like they needed Kenvi there. He got in an awkward spot because he was identified, and so he was basically being walked around, but still. Nice kill being picked up here by Tactical. Used both sums, but nailed it.
I mean, Kenvi was there for just blocking the path, right? Yes. He makes it so DoubleLift can't flash over that wall to get away, and it was Treatz who started this off. Gallop, gallop, slam.
Few flash, and then he was able to get the lockdown here. Really well done by Treatz, and this is what we wanted. This is what I expected from IMT when they started out the split. Play towards bot lane. Treatz is going to start the fight. This was an angle, and great job from IMT to be able to lock it down with Kenvi and Treatz.
Well done, well done. Now, back up topside, Solo, the Ornn, leading the charge with a massive wave of minions. So now Jax just has to hang back and farm them off. You can see Solo does have a CS lead right now, but there's more than 7 minions here, so someday should be able to make up most of that difference and just pick these guys up. There it is, sleeps back over to that one, maximizing the CS.
But across the board, a much better early game here from IMT. Not only are they picking a little bit better for lanes, but also they're playing respectfully, so they're not getting caught out by bad trades. Solo really early on, I know the Observer wasn't looking topside because, understand, it's completely boring. But like, he didn't take any trades, he didn't farm any CS up until the wave was crashing under his turret, and there was no option for a dive. So that's something where they got caught off last time, like when Solo went up against Fudge and then got solo kill because he went for a poor trade, or just a dive coming in from the opposing team. No option there, but IMT is going to be contesting a fight here for Dragon.
Okay, Drake down to about 1,000 HP. We could get the smite fight for it, but Immortals choosing to focus the players from 100 Thieves instead and stealing away the Drake. 100 Thieves just lost 3 dudes and an objective. Immortals ran them over.
Oh my god, they got walked in on. Quid wasn't there to basically help out. 100 Thieves thought it was going to be a clean one, at least be able to secure a smite fight. None of the above happened. Really well done from Kenvi, Treatz, and Tactical collapsing on them. I want to see that one more time.
That was good. All right, yeah, we're going to have to get a replay of that one, as Immortals are now up over 2,000 gold 6 minutes into the game. Call them 97 Thieves now, because these 3 dudes just got murdered.
That was a great setup from Treatz. Got a double stun, a great knock-up with his W, and Closer was left alone, basically, to try and burn this one down, and just got completely taken out by Bolulu. So you can see the awkward case from Quid. He could not enter the fight at all. And the bot lane from 100 Thieves was nowhere near there.
That was bad news, Bears, man. I do believe that Bolulu was 6 with Quid still being 5, just slightly off the EXP marker for having his own ulti. So that's going to influence the fight a lot. Kenvi was actually down 1 level compared to Closer, but the 4 versus 5 level difference is way smaller than the 5 versus 6 because of the impact of the ultimate.
Looking like a good game here. Flowers. For IMT.
For Immortals, for 100 Thieves,
I gotta clarify.
no.
I have to clarify. For IMT, their best game, as you mentioned, 10-game losing streak. The fact that they were trying literally everything, better early game to see if they can try to get to those mid-game team fights. We're losing in lane anyways. Tried to play a lot more of a scaling composition. Didn't happen. I just think that they're flatly playing better in both solo lanes, and Kenvi being able to have a good early game plan and strategy to wrap around enemy jungle or get a pick on towards bot side of the map. So seems like they're on the same page, and it's nice to see from IMT at this point of the split.
Yeah, Immortals still waiting to get that jungler level 6 before we can start seeing some of those paranoia plays. Closer level 6 himself, but now we got a bit of a problem, man, because see, they're so far behind. 2,000 gold at 7 minutes is pretty meaningful.
Yeah.
It's harder to make those plays for a Viego who wants to be able to go in, get these resets, burst somebody down fast. Well, it's a pretty tough job description when things have been going this badly.
That's going to be the challenge here. Either you can find a play from Busio for a pick, or as the game goes on, you kind of rely on Quid a little bit more with his Azir shuffle. So there's a few ways for them to still make plays. Closer's not going to be the one that leads the charge. But I want to see how they play around Rift Herald. Because right now, 100 Thieves, I don't think want to take a fight whatsoever with how well IMT... Oh, here we go.
Oh, man. Treatz is already going in, and they got Nocturne over the top. Paranoia claims another one as Treatz gets the kill credit. It's DoubleLift dead for the 3rd time this game. Immortals has their sights set on him, and they got plenty of bullets.
This is getting painful for 100 Thieves right now. Sure, they're going to trade for Rift Herald, but that's just going to be way more gold now in Tactical's pockets as he starts chipping at plates.
Closer's gonna grab the Herald, so that'll be at least something. But man, Immortals is running the show here in bottom lane. Look at that massive amount of minions. At least there's the cannon there, so DoubleLift's not gonna miss out on both of them, but Immortals wanna make sure that these guys are hurting. Nice use of the W there from Kaisa. DoubleLift knows that Immortals wanna put even more hurt on him, but they're just blocking him away. The cannon minion has gone. Yes. It has passed. Now it is killing all of the littler ones. DoubleLift is going to show up in time to get like 2 minions here.
Oh,
Immortals are done. They brought Bolulu too. DoubleLift arrives for his own funeral. Just put him in a hearse at this point. 7-0 for IMT. Quid with a shuffle tries to get one back. Kenvi tanks the turret for a long time, and Quid walks away with 12 health.
This is getting disgusting from IMT. I thought 4 was going to be enough, or 3 was going to be enough. But you're right, Bolulu comes through, and the TP timer from Quid was going to take way too long for him to be there by the time DoubleLift and Busio's passed. They could have waited a little bit longer for Closer, who was making a path from Rift Herald to bot side, so he was on the way. But you would have lost so many minions at that point. So take a look at this. As you can see in the minimap, Viego is making a trek there, but really well done for Bolulu to come in and help out the team to make this a done deal dive.
Man, this is just... They particularly want to make sure DoubleLift does not get to play the game. They're looking at those stats that Mark was pulling up before the game, being like, oh, battle of the AD carries. And then they are just ganging up on DoubleLift. Every time he's on the screen, they want him off the screen.
It's an ego battle. It's probably the best ego battle. It's a relatable ego battle. I remember in like elementary school, junior high, when you haven't beef with somebody and you're like, oh yeah, you want to fight? Okay, 3 o'clock. And you're just worried that the other guy is going to bring more members. He's going to bring some of his cousins, his brother, whatever. And you're like, you know what? I got to bring more of my friends or I am done for. Because no one cares about whether or not the other guy had more people. They just care about who got beat up. That's all that matters.
The 100 Thieves tier 1 turret in bot lane is the flagpole after school, and everybody's just meeting up to have a scrap.
Yep.
And it's DoubleLift who's constantly on the receiving end of the punches. Bad times for 100 Thieves in the bot lane, and they're not getting anything back anywhere else. Closer's up here in the top side. Remember, he still has this Herald, but it's about to expire, so you're just going to have to drop it for plates, I think. Solo can smell something's up. He's going to walk away from this one. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, DoubleLift and Busio just can't even play it anymore. This one's going to drop to tactical. He's going to get solo gold on it. The Xayah is so far ahead. Observers, if we could swap to see the gold, I want to see just how far ahead he is. Nearly double DoubleLift's gold. 3,200 versus 6K. Herald Summit up top side. They're going to get this down below 1 plate at least. Solo trying to stick around here, but he wants to be careful, doesn't want to just let him run away with it. They will not have enough damage to burst down that last plate because of the extra protection, so Solo keeps the turret standing for now. Immortals also getting their second Drake of the game totally uncontested from that bot lane control.
Yeah, Solo understands his role here perfectly. He understood the assignment 2 times in a row where he could have been the dive angle and says, I'm not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to stare your jungler down.
I mean, you look at bottom lane, you're up 35 CS, 3-0-3 versus 0-4-0. Mid lane's converting into another kill now as well with another Nocturne ulti on top of Tactical picking up the money. All you have to do as Ornn is not int. If you don't int, this game is free.
He's doing an S+ performance there at not inting. It's a great sign. He's able to come up a little tankier now, comes back with a Sunfire cape, but this is getting ugly. Got ugly. I should just say that. It got ugly about 5 minutes ago.
Tactical is now an entire Gale Force ahead of his opponent. He has Gale Force Kraken versus normal Kraken. They both have free-ass boots. And then Cookies and Ward versus Refillable. It's an entire mythic item difference in the AD carry role.
This is when you try to put your minds together and be like, can we play for literally anything on the map?
What is our objective?
What can we get? Because they're would naturally try and get gold onto DoubleLift's pockets, put him on the opposite side of the map. That hasn't been the case. It feels like they've been doing a great job matching him so that he is still denied. And so now it's forcing 100 Thieves to try and put gold onto either Quid or Someday. And so that would be a great strategy, especially as we came into this game with an expectation that the Azir is going to be able to put in work against this composition. But now the front line is way too strong from Treatz and Solo. So if a larger fight is to come up, now they have to fight for third dragon. There's no way for 100 Thieves to try and trade away from that, unless if you're willing to lose soul, which is a no.
Yeah, you really don't want to give that away, especially not a freaking Infernal Soul, man. It couldn't even spawn him with like one of the lesser souls. It had to give him the you die faster one in a game where you're already dying fast. Immortals is looking good here with 15 seconds left before the plates fall this game. They've farmed a lot of money off of them in the bottom lane, but not a whole lot anywhere else, to be quite honest. Only a single plate taken in the mid lane, none taken top side, as Solo has just been sitting under the turret the entire time. And a similar story being told for 100 Thieves. Yes, they knocked down the top lane tier 1, but mid and bottom are unaffected.
Take a look at this. So IMT right now are just trying to secure gold, which means they're just completely overloading the top side of the map, giving up the bottom lane turret, just saying, hey, you know what? Ornn, farm mid. It's going to be Bolulu that's actually going to be losing out in a bit of farm, but because we can guarantee the top lane play, that's fine for us. Even though it's not an optimal idea, you want to have Ornn on the bottom side to try and soak whenever he can, but they don't want to take that risk. They are so far ahead of the game right now that it does not matter to them now. 2 minutes until the next dragon comes up. This is where, in my mind, 100 Thieves need to find a good fight. Something where Quid, before they, that IMT sets up, if he can get an Azir second, whoever tries to fight through mid lane wave, that would be the best angle. But they have to give up Herald. So now that's another Herald you have to fight against as Drake is spawning. So, don't have an answer for you now.
All right, well, it looks like the only game plan here for 100 Thieves is put all your hopes and dreams in the someday bucket. It's like a Jack split push or we lose type of game, because nobody else is going to win here in these actual fights up against a 4-0 and 3 Xayah, Neeko 1-0 and 4, Nocturne on 1-0 and 7, 100% KP for the Nocturne and nearly as much on the Xayah and Rell both. But Someday is in the side lane and he is bopping turrets.
Yeah, he's not just splitting, he's rage splitting. Yeah. He's not going to be, you're not going to be seeing him.
Walk down lane like a minion, start hitting that stuff.
And hope they make a few more mistakes. Much like Cloud9 when they almost found a win at the very tail end of the game. Hopefully you find the same amount of mistakes Cloud9 found versus Team Liquid. But the setup here is pretty decent from IMT. There is a ward behind them that should get cleared out. Probably won't get cleared up.
There's Unleashed Teleport available for both Someday and Quid. Also Unleashed Teleport available for Bolulu and Solo, but I expect Immortals to be the ones that are first on the scene. Second Herald, summoned up here in mid. Tactical's already done enough damage to the turret that the charge alone will kill it off. So there's the third turret of the game for Immortals. All 3 tier 1. It's cleared away from 100 Thieves now, as they've still got total control over the bot side. River, Quid now on split push duty up here on the top side, but Solo is ready to once again take his appointed position as designated Ornn player and sit under the turret.
As Bolulu takes the position as a minion, just in case anyone wants to contest it.
Gotta count those minions, man.
Doing a good job as a minion. It's probably hard to count as... Hey, where are you going?
Rogue minion. All right.
He becomes sentient.
He knows that they're not going to walk up to this one. That's just a free Drake over to IMT. They're on Soul Point just before 17 minutes. That means if everything goes according to plan, it'll be Infernal Soul 22 minutes into the game, man.
All right. This time around, IMT recognized they don't need to overload for something like that. They already have a great position around Drake. And Bolulu was going to hide in fog just in case 100 Thieves were going to contest. Didn't happen, so that's a positive. 100 Thieves still trying to get gold on the map, and I think it was a good call for Quid to just be top lane, just in case. Hey, if we have a winning situation bot side, then you can TP. Otherwise, you're free to just farm. So he's getting a little bit closer to his items, but just a bit of bucket of popcorn chicken there.
The junglers, both junglers, have more money than the 100 Thieves mid laner and bot laner. Only Someday is up there on the gold charts, so these fights are not going to exist if 100 Thieves has their way. And that's kind of what I'm looking at Immortals for here. The gold lead hasn't ballooned. They've got Drake control, and that's nice. And if they can convert that to the soul, cool, then it'll all be worth. But they're not building this gold lead any further than it was back before the turrets fell, back before the lane assignments were swapped around, right? So it's up to Immortals to keep pushing this forward. It's up to Immortals to take advantage of this lead, because 3,000 gold at 18 minutes means way more than 3,000 gold at 45 minutes. So I want to see this team make some decisive calls here.
That is a very good point, as we see Someday just pushing Solo out. Shouldn't be too much damage as he's right next to his second tier turret, but to the point that you're making, that's actually credit to, as you've mentioned, 100 Thieves are trying to even out gold and trade sides of the map whenever they can, put gold into Someday and Quid whenever they can, and also DoubleLift picking up mid lane minion waves, because it's just really hard to punish, it seems, and if they try to wrap around him, they have good defensive vision, just in case. So all of these things are a positive for 100 Thieves. The only thing that is a negative is the dragon stacking. So you can only do this for so long. And so now, Judgment Day comes in 3 minutes. IMT, maybe 100 Thieves decide we're so, we feel like we're far behind, so we don't fight for it, but they have to. So you can already see that they're contesting red side jungle at least to get some defensive vision down.
How do we feel about the vegan Azir build? I know that this falls under a lot of scrutiny online practically every time it's built. Crown of the Shattered Queen is not a community favorite to be built on the Emperor, so that's the option Quid's gone for this game. How do we feel about that?
I like Leandre's more, but I think in a game like this where he is going to be the target with Nocturne engage and there's not that much poke coming in from IMTs to just pop it off, it is not that bad. I think that's okay. Still, would like Leandre's because he's going to be the sole damage dealer going up against pretty beefy lineups like obviously the Ornn from Rell. So I think at least in those instances, that's the people you're going to hit.
All right, they're going in. They finally want to find their fight. Bolulu's got some CC. Pop, Blossom. Tactical goes unstoppable, and Quid goes down. Immortals finding a pick on the enemy mid laner. Unfortunately for them, Baron's still not alive for another 15 seconds, so they can't try to turn it directly into a Baron conversion right now. They'll take the reset instead. T-minus 2 minutes until Infernal Soul Judgment Day.
You know, the sad thing was Crown helped them for the first second of that engage. And then it popped off.
And then it only lasts so long.
Yeah, so that's a little unfortunate. But he was alone on the top side of the map, so not much you could do there. But you can kind of see the idea of if they are going to engage on him and if 100 Thieves are actually there to defend him and take the fight, then it makes sense. So let's see if he can get to his Nashor's Tooth before this next objective, then that's going to be the best fight that they could take.
Alrighty, boys. Let's see if 100 Thieves can stop the war machine from Immortals. Sunday's trying to get the top lane pushed out. Unleash teleports available for all 4 solo laners across the teams here. You can see a 1-level advantage for Bolulu in mid, 1-level advantage for Someday up there in top. And what is this? Solo is getting close to the point where we're going to start seeing those Ornn upgrades come through. Right now, there are no Ornn upgrades available just yet. You can see he doesn't actually have his own mythic yet since Sunfire is no longer a mythic.
Happens.
But yeah, that happens sometimes.
Okay. Thing to make note of is a lot of the times you get picked off on sides or something, you want to make a desperate escape. Usually you burn flash, not a good idea. Quid held on to his flash. In fact, 100 Thieves are playing well to not burn sums if they are getting picked off. So now it sets them up pretty damn well for the next fight. They know this next fight is going to be what matters, so it's nice to see. Of course, taking in this wave shallow because you never know if it's just Bolulu or if it's someone right next to him.
Right.
Most of IMT are actually right next to mid lane, but they're just camping this place out. So that's their part of the map now.
This is so deadly for 100 Thieves to try to approach it. TP coming in. Quid's ready to join up with the team, but what is this? A teleport from Immortals off to the side. Immortals is ready to go in. They pop the Nocturne ulti. The Ornn horn sounds off. Counter engage from Busio, but it won't find anything. Someday here in the stasis, staying alive a moment longer as the Sun Disc is summoned. Neither side finding a kill from that one, but Busio lost his ulti, lost a huge chunk of HP. DoubleLift lost the ghost. Closer had to flash out as well. One teleport committed from both sides, bringing their mid laners into the fight, and now Immortals have successfully kept 100 Thieves out of a spot where they can fight, and Immortals will get a 22-minute Infernal Soul.
There it is. It does the trick. Was a little concerned to see if 100 Thieves could take the fight back to them, knowing that Bolulu did TP off to Zimbabwe. So I was like wondering, hey, you're a little far away from the team, but it wasn't really required. So really great win from IMT. The only concern is somehow they muck up with Elden, right?
Okay.
Just putting that in your back of your head, just in case it happens.
Someday is popping the ulti. He wants to fight solo. He knows there's no Ornn horn.
Oh, that's a long track back.
Beating him like a loot pinata. Flash follow, nicely done. Someday gets the first kill of the game for 100 Thieves, 22 minutes and 49 seconds in.
It's a long way home from solo, too. Seems like the strategy of putting gold in Someday's pockets is working out well for them.
Well, unfortunately, that is still just the first kill they've got. We'll see if they can turn it into anything else. They're going for the big play. They want Baron now.
It's flip a clock.
Let's see it. Immortals, they just need to stop him. You don't have to do anything super crazy. Remember, the Jax does not have his flash. He does not have his ulti. Keep your eyes on Bolulu and Treatz. Those are the guys to go in. Magnet Storm to start it off. Sunday's already dead. Quid tries to go for an outplay with a Shurima shuffle, but it won't work. Tactical has killed Closer. DoubleLift trying to do anything, fighting back against these guys. Treatz and Kenvi are thinking about the Baron as DoubleLift swoops back in with a killer instinct, but now Bolulu might be ready to take him down. DoubleLift still looking for it. Flash into the missiles, but it won't do a thing. All he does is get Treatz. Immortals bring Solo into the fight as it finishes, and now they're the ones starting up the Baron.
Oh, it was worth a try from 100 Thieves. Got the pick on a Solo, so they thought they could at least force a flip or a better fight, but Kenvi is able to take down Sunday, who is getting way too low from the Baron itself. And let's take a look at the positioning Treatz was taking, pushing DoubleLift off, so he was forcing him right to the rest of his team. But here it is. Treatz goes in, sets him up. Someday goes down through Kenvi, and Bolulu actually, that's a real nice pick here. Great ulti. So really tough from 100 Thieves. I could see the play. That was the best one they could go for off of Sunday's pick, but really close here too from DoubleLift, but nice flash from Kenvi, not giving an option here.
Yeah, Kenvi flashing away so he doesn't die to the autos or the Acathian Rain. Makes it pretty easy for then Immortals to swoop in, bring in Solo. And while we were watching the replay, they completed the Baron. So now they've got Solo, they've got Baron. They are totally in control of the game, 14-3 up against 100 Thieves. Looking to finally break this 10-game loss streak. That's what I'm talking about, man. They might finally just get a little bit of footing here in the league, close to the end.
Yeah, it's perfect time to do it. Cinematic entry from IMT. Second last week to be able to show what you've been doing in practice, and it really is coming together for IMT, that is. They got 4 people down bot lane. They have, let's see, looks like Azir is actually just trying to trade as much gold as he can topside. They might end up giving inhibitor turret for this.
Okay. Immortals is not slowing down. Solo is walking towards them slowly but certainly. The Ornn is making his way down here. We've got the Gale Force upgraded for tactical. Solo with his Jack Show has that upgraded as well. Quid does take out the tier 2 turret there on the top side. Still a 5,500 gold lead for Immortals. 100 Thieves needs their mid laner back, and they need him back yesterday. Nexus turrets are under pressure. Demolish, not gonna proc. Tactical's got to be careful here. He's the closest one to Someday. That's generally not where Immortals wants him, but he can regroup in time because Someday can't just engage on his own.
Lulu did a great job marking Busio just in case he wanted to go for an engage as Quid was coming back. It's not going to be an option. This is a pretty thin wave, but it's a cannon minion wave, and they're going to go for it.
Ornn summon up. There's Bolulu's engaged with a flash pop blossom. He's on a rampage, and Quid is dead again. Someday tries to find an entry into the fight, but he's immediately killed. Nobody else is around. There's no backup. There's no way out for 100 Thieves. Closer gets killed off. Double kill for Tactical. Everybody wearing 100 Thieves colors hits the ground. And Immortals with a quadra kill for Tactical will finally end their loss streak and claim their 3rd win of summer 2023.
That is something IMT should feel proud about. Their cleanest game all split long. Even if their wins, even in their wins in their first week, kind of felt a little muddy. This one, it felt like whatever was happening in practice in the gulag was coming together.
Man, Immortals, they got to be happy about that one. They had one plan early, and it was go after DoubleLift. And they